So if you're in the healthcare business, maybe you run a clinic, a practice, an agency, you probably know this feeling. You're doing amazing work, providing top-notch care, but growth has just hit a wall. It feels like you're so close to a breakthrough, but instead, you're just stuck in this referral drought. Well, let's get into why that's happening. And here's a little hint. The culprit probably isn't who you think it is.
Does that sound familiar? We just need more referrals. Man, it's probably the #1 frustration out there for business owners. It's that thought that just nags at you, right? You know your services are great, but getting that consistent flow of patients, it feels like you're always fighting an uphill battle.
And it's totally natural to ask this question. I mean, when referrals dry up, where's the first place you look? The salesperson, right? The person whose job it is to get them. But what if we're all looking in the wrong place? What if the real problem isn't the person, but the system? What if it's way deeper, baked right into the foundation of your growth strategy, or lack thereof?
Yeah, this referral drought is very real for a lot of folks. And here's the thing, it's not just bad luck. More often than not, it's the direct result of a flawed approach, one that a ton of businesses are using without even knowing it. This is what we call the hope strategy. And it's what most businesses have instead of a real strategy. You know the one? You just kind of hope word of mouth will carry you. Or you hire a marketing person and cross your fingers, expecting some kind of magic. Maybe you're running ads, throwing money at them, but there's no real funnel to follow up with anyway.
Without visibility, your business will not grow. I want to invite you to the next brand awareness event. It's designed for healthcare entrepreneurs who are tired of chasing leads, frustrated with the inconsistency of referral sources, and disappointed by the outcomes of paid advertising campaigns. This event is for you. We'll cover topics like how your content can start showing up on AI platforms like ChatGPT and Perplexity. We'll cover how to convert your website into a patient acquisition portal. And we'll talk about how to amplify your brand. This is the opportunity you've been waiting for. It's the insight and the information you need to fuel your growth. It's the brand awareness event. It's my personal invitation to you. I look forward to seeing you.
It's all just hope, and let's be honest, hope is not a strategy. It's a passive approach that just doesn't work in the long run.
So what happens when the hope strategy inevitably falls flat? Well, the blame game starts. And guess who's usually first in the hot seat? Yep, the sales rep. Even when, from day one, they were basically set up to fail.
And this right here, this is the massive disconnect. On one hand, you have the expectation. Businesses want this unicorn rep, right? Someone who's super professional, already has all the connections, is incredibly persuasive, and can just go make it happen. But then you look at the reality of what they're offering. A stipend of maybe $500 to $1,000 a month, a commission that takes forever to actually pay out, and basically zero support structure. It's a classic case of wanting a Ferrari performance while offering a bicycle budget. It just doesn't add up.
And the result? It's a revolving door of talent. Good people come in, they get frustrated, and they leave. You end up hiring a new person every 6 months, maybe every year, and you're starting from square one every single time. The real problem, that broken structure, it never gets fixed. So you're just stuck in this frustrating cycle, burning through time, money, and any momentum you might have had.
This is exactly why we need to completely rethink what this role is. A real business development rep, they're not just a flyer dropper. They are a frontline strategist. They get the nitty-gritty of patient referral flows. They can have a real, intelligent conversation with clinical partners. Their job is to communicate your brand's value in a way that makes you the obvious choice.
And I love this quote. Think about it. If your team doesn't have a dedicated person focused on growth, that's the equivalent of driving with no one watching the road. It's so true. Not having someone strategically focused on growth isn't just about moving slow. It's downright dangerous. You're barreling down the highway with no one looking out for a stalled car, an exit ramp, or a new opportunity. You are, quite literally, driving blind.
Okay, so we've spent a lot of time on the problem. Let's pivot and talk about the solution. Because the answer isn't to just keep searching for that mythical unicorn rep. The real answer is to build a growth engine, a powerful, sustainable system that a good rep can step into and succeed.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. A great rep is only step one. They're just one part of the engine. They need the whole machine around them to work. Solid brand credibility, the right tools, and a real structure to guide them. You can have the best driver in the world, but if you put them in a car with no wheels, they're not going anywhere.
So what does that engine look like? Well, here are the absolute minimum requirements for success. Think of it as a checklist. Step 1, a professional website that actually speaks to both patients and your partners. Step 2, branded materials that are clear and explain what you do. Step 3, an optimized Google business profile. I mean, people have to be able to find you, right? And step 4, a real marketing funnel to track what's working and what's not. These are not nice-to-haves. This is the bare minimum, the absolute essentials.
Because without this stuff, your team is flying blind. You're basically asking them to get by on pure charisma and personality. And let me tell you, that is exhausting. It's totally unsustainable, and it is a fast track to burnout. They're out there with no data, no professional marketing materials to back them up. It's a recipe for failure.
All right, let's zoom out for a second. Because building this growth engine, it's not just a good idea anymore. Honestly, it's becoming a flat-out requirement for survival. The whole healthcare landscape is shifting, and it's happening fast.
Think about what's happening. Referrals are getting tighter. The big hospital systems and insurance companies, they're controlling the game more and more. Huge players are consolidating, buying up smaller networks. And then there's AI, which is totally changing how people even search for care. In this environment, sticking with that old hope strategy is basically a plan to become invisible.
And that brings us to the crucial point. In today's market, there's no such thing as standing still. You are either actively, intentionally building visibility and trust, or you're shrinking. It's that simple. Because I guarantee you, your competitors who are doing this stuff, they're the ones who are going to eat your lunch. So let's wrap this up with one final question for you to think about. Is your strategy just about pushing harder, trying to brute force your way through a broken system? Or are you ready to start positioning smarter? Are you ready to actually build a real sustainable engine for growth? Because honestly, the future of your business really does depend on it.